Coming to bridge financing, we have seen that what I always advise startups, your fundraise and your business, they need not move in the same manner. So if you are getting access to equity financing and you don't require it right away, but you are getting it at a good valuation, take it. And there will be times when there is a very short time left to use that cash burn. So at that time, you will have to resort to bridge financing. There are three types of bridge financing. One is equity bridge. Equity bridge means you have only equity as collateral to give. And because you need some money in between two rounds, you give your shares as collateral and arrange funding. Similarly, a loan bridge is when you go to the bank or a financial institution, you tell them that I need a lot of debt, but till the time I avail that properly, I need some bridge financing. So the bank gives you less than 1 year loan at high interest rates till the time you raise the proper round of funding. Then the IPO bridge. So what happens is equity markets are not always in great shape. Sometimes we have a 2,000, 5,000 point decline. And at that time, any investor in a fresh IPO stops. He says, wait and watch. So at that time, for the promoters, it is not right condition to launch an IPO. So at that time, the promoter waits, and because he needs money and he's waiting for the markets to recover, so he approaches the investment banker, iBanker. The IB then gets, he underwrites the loan. There are two types of underwriting, soft underwriting and hard underwriting. A hard underwriting means that if the promoter requires 100 crores and he's getting 50 crores, then rest 50 will be given by the IB. But hard underwriting nowadays is not very famous in India. It is mostly soft underwriting where the IB says, okay, I'm underwriting it. And basis that assurance, the startup, the company goes to the market and arranges its money. Then we have convertibles. Convertibles are preference shares or debentures. There's a third thing, warrants. So what happens is you are saying your company is valued at 20 crores. The investor says it's valued at 100 crores. So what they do is they issue a convertible preference share or a convertible debenture. The conversion of that preference share or debenture into equity is tied to certain formula. It can be like, I'm putting 10 crores today till the time the next liquidity event, which means the funding round, happens in the startup. At the valuation at which that round happens, I will get a discount of around 20% because I entered early, I took a bigger risk. So whenever the next valuation happens, at that time, you'll give me a discount. Or it can be, the convertible can have a formula like whatever be the revenue and EBITDA of the company at the next round of financing. At that time, we put a multiple on the revenue or multiple on the EBITDA. And at that valuation, this investor today, at that time, his preference shares, convertible ones, will be converted to equity. Then there are differential voting rights. As we understand equity has a certain voting right in the board of directors. Now, what happens is that in abroad, see in India, the promoter clings to equity. Mujhe 80% rakna hai. I want 75%. I want majority. Abroad, what happens is promoter thinks my company is going from $100 million to $1 billion. Even if I have 30%, I am a gainer. But then the practical problem is, in many cases, the promoter gets thrown out of the company. So like very famous Steve Jobs, he was thrown out from Apple. So because his voting rights in the company were less than 50%, he didn't have a control over the board of the company. So they invented differential voting rights. So Mark Zuckerberg holds less than 50% in Facebook, but his control over the board of directors is almost 75%. It is because the shares which he holds are extra rights. Similarly, Tata Group also uses DVRs to control its various companies in the conglomerate.
Just to add in here, Mark Zuckerberg is having I guess two voting right. He is having somewhere around 38% of stakes and having two votes on each of his stakes. So he is having somewhere around 75% out there. So
75.
that's why he have control over the board when it comes to taking any decision out there.
Right. Thank you, Sivesh.